Alright everybody, time to be live for as long as possible. I had to work, then now I don't have, so it's better to just simply keep working on the Excalidraw clone itself. So coming back to this one, so we were doing what, when the user drags any handle, so current point that we have minus start point width plus dx. So ultimately we are getting the max width or dx plus this. Okay, that's fine. So ultimately this is when we are resizing, right? Then force shape dot size is gonna be this top left size. Suppose current circle is x is gonna be this. Dragging from top to left, that's gonna be 90/70. In that case, new size is gonna be max of 390 and 370. That's gonna be 230, and that max value of that. So in that case, we have to do what? When it comes to a size, so the original width that we had plus dx and this, and then we have to get the max. Generic resize handler, so resize circle from corner. So whenever we are resizing it, so we'll get the what is this anchor? Come on, coming back to the code right now. So this is where we are just simply drawing it, and when we are drawing it at that time, these are the centers, ultimately x, y, and we are calculating the center as well, radius of the larger dimension. Okay, I have to fix this anyhow. So ultimately the way we are calculating the shape, that's the problematic thing, because at the end of the day, height and width both are gonna be the same. So ultimately I can just simply say that max of this, so width divided by 2, that's gonna be for sure like this. And as for the center y, we don't really need this because this is fine. And we are gonna be having it here, height, width, and at the end of the day, height and width both of them are gonna be the same, right? So even if we are going with this way, so shape dot width and shape dot height, they are gonna be the so new size is gonna be this, and at the end of the day, shape dot width will be 230 and shape dot height will be 230. So at the end of the day, we have to just simply calculate it, and this is fine. Even coming back to calculating the stuff, whenever we are just simply doing that, so set shapes, we are sort of calculating it here. How does it look like anyway? Coming back to this, reload the page. Even there's another problem, that's gonna be the radius provided by me, that was less than minus 2.5 or something. It's getting crazy. So we need to normalize the shape. So whenever we are saving the shape, ultimately and the shape is getting saved. Shapes, create shape. Whenever we are creating a shape, we are normalizing that, aren't we? So we are normalizing this when it comes to a circle. So in case of a circle, what we are doing, we are getting the center and we have the size, and the size is calculated as per the max value of width and height. And width and the size we got center of the circle within the dragged area. Okay, I'm even wondering why I have circle here when I actually have ellipse. Yeah, it's even gonna be making it more complicated. So coming back to this, if I'm actually building it like this one, in that case I can just simply completely remove circle, but we should have. The only thing is that I have to just make it work the way I want it to work. So center the circle within the dragged area, that's gonna be centered. Coming back to this, even when we are drawing it, it's not exactly the same, right? So what can we do? So for a circle, as we decrease the height, width or height, the width should be decreased as well. So if we just somehow able to achieve this, that's gonna be great. Apart from this particular thing, we have to normalize the value. Normalizing in the sense we, as we are doing it here, we had the value of x and y. So if I do it somewhat like this, then what will happen? We are able to draw this. So ultimately when we did this from bottom to top, so at that time what happened, we normalized it, right? So normalizing means what? We are sending start and end, and when we are normalizing it, so start x and end x, we are getting the minimum value of that, start y, end y, and then similarly to get the width and height, we are getting this. So ultimately we have width and height, and we have to get the minimum value of start x and end x. That's right. So even we can just directly use this, we can normalize it directly, because all the things need to be normalized. In that case it works here great, but how will I make it work during resizing? Until unless I am writing the logic just for circle. What I mean here, that when I'm resizing it, so I have the logic for this, and in else case I have the logic for this. What I'll actually do that we have set shapes, and this is where we are just simply setting the shapes. So either do this, else if selected shape, if that dot type, if that's equals to circle, in that case somehow I need to, in else condition, this set shapes logic is going to be there. And now what I have to do, I have to resize the circle. So this is the time to just simply set the value there. And when it comes to setting the value there, so circle, right? So we have to set the value, but we have to make changes as well. So set of shapes, and I'm gonna be getting all the previous shapes. It's gonna be sort of the same, and previous shapes dot map. This will just simply return me the shape, and this is where I have my main logic, and that's going to be, suppose I'm just simply returning the shape at the end and no issues. Coming back to this, first of all I'll check what if shape.id triple equals to selected shape.id. In that case, that is great. In else case, I have just simply returned the shape. Or even better, if not shape.id, if shape.id is not equals to selected shape.id, in that case just return the shape. Otherwise do something here. What are we gonna be doing? So when it comes to circle, as we are resizing, so we have to do it for all. We can resize the circle from any side, right? So ultimately I need to have this switch statement, especially for circle. The logics are gonna be different, but at the end of the day I have it. And how will I be resizing it now? We have to first of all keep the height absolute and keep the coordinates normalized. Okay, that simply means we are gonna be getting shape from here. So okay, so ultimately I have the value of x and y. If the y goes minus, I mean it becomes minus, that gets problematic. So somehow I have to get the minimum, the thing that I'm doing here. So I have start x, I have end x, and how am I getting this end x? Based on that, it's gonna be redrawn. We'll have to take the help of AI here. Let's see what the AI does here. Write the logic specifically for circle and keep in mind that I have the values shouldn't be negative, normalize them. For circles, don't resize width and height independently. Since you want normalization, width and height can become negative while dragging. The easiest approach is compute the new bounding box exactly like rectangle, normalize it, force it into a square by using a larger dimension, reposition according to the dragged handle. So ultimately normalized rectangle will have here, and resize circle. This is gonna be for any shape. Now resize circle is going to be different. However, this still has a problem. Suppose you are dragging only the left edge, then after that this, I would strongly recommend circle top left this only, then your logic becomes much cleaner. So const size method or did this. So normalized shape is gonna be here, resizable handler. Gaming, let's see. We'll have to understand the code first of all. If you want a proper circle resizing with a negative with height normalization opposite to corner stage fix, the circle always remains a circle. Width and height works for all four corner handles. So ultimately we have one for normalization. So x, y, width, height, it just simply gets that, and it simply returns x, y, width, height, but by normalizing them. And apart from this particular thing, we have a shape dx and dy for resizing a circle. Once we get them, we calculate this. Once we calculate this, we just simply do this calculation here, and once we done that, we calculate the normalized shape, and then we just get the size. Once we get the size, that is it. And apart from this particular thing, then inside your resize shape, this is for resize circle. So once I have the size over here, the same size is going to be used, so that is mainly for the circle. And inside your resize the shape, if that is equals to circle, then I have to just simply call this. So let's see whether it works or not. I'm just simply gonna be dependent on this because it will be trickier if I do not. So in that case, this is the resize shape. This is the normalization function. We'll understand the code anyway. That's not a big problem. But circle shape is gonna be here. So we have resize circle. Before even having the resize circle, we need to have normalize. So we have normalize rect, and inside resize shape, if that's triple equals to circle, so we have to remove it all, and we have to just simply set the shape. So we are passing the size circle, that will take the circle shape. Arrow is not assignable to type circle, so I'm actually passing the shape. Okay, in that case what can I do? Shape as unknown, this is gonna be circle shape. Now it should be fine. Coming back to this, let's see whether it actually works or not, because until unless it works, what is the use of even understanding this? Wow, these buttons do not work. finish dragging. Alright, everybody, it seems to be alright. Like it seems to be working, but there's one thing that whenever we just simply click at the top, I think there's not enough tolerance. Because of that thing, it just get selected. So that is what we'll have to handle, and that's a lot. Ultimately, at least with the help of AI, we made it work. We'll understand the code exactly how it works and all, and then we'll make everything happen. As for right now, I'm just gonna be going and gonna be doing the work and all. I gonna be getting busy with some work. After that, I'll be back and then continue from here on.